fährt durch die Straßen, die Straßen unserer Stadt. So Raven auf der Nase und eine Keule im Sack. Heavy Bulle, Stone Fungi, Stone Fungi, wo bist du? Heavy Bulle, was drückt er?
Sei so!
Stone Fungi, wo bist du? Heavy Bulle, was drückt er?
Sei so! Sei so! Müdigkeit ist eine gute Voraussetzung für gechilltes Spielen.
Er fährt durch die Straßen unserer Stadt. Jetzt zieht eure Nasen, er zieht lässig ab. Der Happy Bulle, der Happy Bulle, der Happy Bulle, der Happy Bulle. Er fährt durch die Straßen unserer Stadt. Er zieht eure Nasen, er zieht lässig ab. Stone Fungi, wo bist du? Happy Bulle, wo drückt der Schuh? Stone Fungi, wo bist du? Happy Bulle, wo drückt der?
Sei so!
Fährt durch die Straßen unserer Stadt. So Raven auf der Nase und eine Keule im Sack. Heavy Bulle, Stone Fungi, Stone Fungi, wo bist du? Happy Bulle, was drückt er?
Sei so!
Stone Fungi, wo bist du? Happy Bulle, was drückt er?
Sei so! Sei zu! Müdigkeit ist eine gute Voraussetzung für gechilltes Spielen. Ja.
Er führt durch die Straßen unserer Stadt.
Can you hear me now? Is this any better? Bear with us. Let me just make sure everyone can hear me. All right. I think we have audio now. Let me introduce myself again. I'm John, your host for this year's Q&A session, and also your host for this year's Electric Great Mountain Festival, taking place this Sunday, July 18th, on the SS Crunch of the Sea. Is that loud enough? Oh boy. Let me double check my audio here. All right, we're good. I think we're better now. So this year, Electric Great Mountain takes place this Sunday, July 18th at 7 p.m., streaming live right here on Facebook, our Facebook page. I see we're getting some questions already in the chat. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Kevin. He's homesick right now. He would have loved to be here. I know everybody was really eager to meet him. Unfortunately, he could not make it. We got word a little earlier before the show, but luckily they had me on retainer. I'm here to still answer all your questions. I've been a pivotal part in the planning process myself. Maybe not as much as Kevin, but again, I think I know enough about this festival to kind of field your questions and see, if I can clarify anything. So let's start with any questions you guys might have. I don't know what's wrong with Kevin exactly. He just said he wasn't feeling well. He didn't get into the specifics. Quite the specifics, but we're all hoping he's got a speedy recovery here and he's good by Sunday, because Lord knows we need him on the boat. He has been pivotal in planning all of this. So yes, we really need him more than ever. Soggy Pete, wow. If you haven't been paying attention, Soggy Pete is currently our disgraced city councilman. He was caught in a voter fraud scandal in relation to Prop 3455, a piece of legislation that our mayor tried to pass to ban our cruise. He's currently in hiding. Last I heard, he was hiding in the slide of Great Mountain Middle School or elementary school, their playground. I'm not quite sure where they are or where he is. But yeah, I really think that they're going to catch him. I hope they do before the festival because he is dangerous. Let's just face it, folks. And he's been dangerous for months. If you've been paying attention to, all that's been going on in Great Mountain, you'll know that you should not trust Soggy Pete, and he's probably high on Zyrtec. So, okay, so now that Rock and Robbie has parted ways, will there not be a book underneath my pillow in the cabin? That's a great question, and a really good one to start our show. Soggy Pete, one person in this town of ours. Rock and Robbie, totally different character here. Rock and Robbie, he's a little nuts as well, let's face it. And to be honest, we did kind of strip away some of the events and plans that he tried to propose. There will not be books in the lifeboats. There will be flotation devices. You will not have to, if God forbid something happens, you will not have to float around on a book. Um, but we did have to unfortunately leave the world's largest library at sea. On the boat, that was a contractual obligation with the book company and the Core Line Library. We agreed, we signed contracts, so that will still be present. But a lot of Rock and Robbie's ideas, let's face it, they really weren't geared much towards our festival. And let's be real here, we really just were more interested in Book Fiend. I mean, that was the big draw. So let's keep the questions going here. Any questions? Let's see. Anything coming in here? I do want to encourage you to email us some questions at electricgreatmountainfest@gmail.com. We are fielding questions in the chat. We're fielding questions, Twitter. You can tweet us at official EGMF. Am I allowed to bring my own books? Yeah, you can definitely bring your own books. We don't discourage reading. We're just not going to encourage everybody to read and force them to read at a music festival. So BYOB, yeah, bring your own books, bring your own, booze. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine by us. It's a party. This is a festival jam cruise for the ages. And we want you to remember it or not remember it how you wish. So let's see. What other questions do we have, folks? I'm here all night. I mean, I know you really want to see Kevin, but trust me, I'm pretty knowledgeable in this stuff. So oh, it looks like we have a question here coming in. How do I get to the Styrofoam Museum? Oh, that's a great question. So the Styrofoam Museum is one of Great Mountain's most cherished landmarks. Opened last year, it's the world's largest house of styrofoam. And it's real easy to get to. You take I-93 towards the Grape Street line, get off at exit 42, turn right on Raisin Road, turn left into the museum. It's really that easy. Oh, it looks like are all things sold at the festival seedless. We have all sorts of grapes on the boat. Seedless, non-seedless, purple, green. The only grape that's not allowed on the boat is a cotton candy one, because they're gross. So how many grapes do we have this year? Wow, that's a great question. I mean, we always try and outdo ourselves in the grape department. So if I had to put a guess, I'd probably say close to 300,000. I mean, we do house the largest grapes at sea, the grapes preserves at sea. So, I mean, I think we got our grapes covered. Any other questions we have here, folks? Oh, another email question. How many bands are set to perform at this year's festival? A great question again. Yeah, so we're going to have over 30 different bands and a multitude of different acts playing at this year's festival. It's going to be a great time. There's something for everybody there. So I encourage you to please stick with us throughout the festival. I think you're going to be plenty entertained. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Keep the questions coming, folks. Oh, another email question. Will Al Roker playing poker really do a special 1-hour set? Yeah, the answer to that is yeah. I mean, we booked them for the full hour, and I'm really excited personally for their set. I know last year they blew the doors off the festival, and they were one of the most requested acts that we had from last year. So I think they're going to do a full hour. I think they're going to play all the hits. They're going to play the River, the Flop. They're going to play 3-card Stud, 4-card Horror. They're going to do it all. So I'm really excited for it. I'm personally really excited for that headlining act, and I'm glad that they came in, they filled in the shoes for Book Fiend, who had to leave because Rock and Robbie was just demanding way too much of us. So I mean, I'm pretty excited for Al Roker. Yeah, I mean, this question here, how do you feel about the Cup of Pizza food truck going out of business because the food truck maze is not happening? We're really upset about the food truck maze not happening, and I know it was a tough choice for us to make. At the time, we were trying to appease Rock and Robbie by, choosing the world's largest library at sea over the food truck maze. But ultimately, we had to make a call to try and keep our headliner at the time. We regret doing it. And we feel bad for pizza or Cup of Pizza. But I mean, ultimately, next year we will bring back the food truck maze, and hopefully we can do maybe some kind of crowdfunding or something to bring cup of pizza back. So let's see. How do you like your grape dog cooked? A great question. I like mine medium well with the jelly on the side. A little bit of jelly just to dip in is always nice. A little treat, something for the sweet tooth in you. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Will we be stomping the grapes to make wine? That's a good question. Unfortunately, wine is not allowed on the boat. Only hard liquor. So, I don't think we'll be stomping any grapes. But yeah, thanks for that question. That's a good question. Oh, another question in our email box. Let's see what it is. Let's see. How many adults can you turn into babies at the Babyface Pavilion? That's a really good question. The Babyface Pavilion is something we're really excited about. If you're not familiar, it's a giant pavilion using the most up-to-date technology to help turn full-grown adults into babies. Digitally, of course. The answer is 50. We can turn 50 adults an hour into babies. It's truly remarkable. Will there be extra security on the ship to protect us from R.I.P? He's been reading up on revenge, and I'm a little scared. Yeah, we've actually brought on, I don't know if you saw this, we announced it recently, Officer Jack McDigsley, one of the greatest Great Mountain police officers on the mountain, is going to join us for the ship. He's going to watch the Tomb of Crunchy Dill, of course, but he's also got his eye elsewhere on the boat, making sure that nothing crazy is going on. So you should feel safe. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't drink wine at this festival. It's outlawed. And if you see somebody drinking wine, they're doing it illegally. So please report them. Since we will be in international waters, can I play Russian roulette with friends? A good question. Good question. It really depends on where in the boat. It's where in the boat. It's Jack McDigsley. He's Great Mountain's finest. He's a veteran on the force. Please respect him. Let's see. What other questions do we have, guys? How did Crunchy Dill get his name? Now that's a good question. Well, Crunchy Dill got his name by a number of reasons, really for a number of reasons, honestly. Number one, his last name is Dillerson. Number two, he loved pickles, much like our Grape Mountain, our next top grape, Little Anthony. And yeah, he was just a crunchy guy. He didn't really shower very much, so he kind of looked a little crunchy. He played guitar, played crunchy riffs, so it just kind of stuck. Ooh, a really good. Do I still have to clean my cans, or is that just mountain law? That is just mountain law. In fact, we actually endorse making your cans dirtier before you put them in the trash. In fact, you can just chuck your cans into the ocean for all we care. As long as you're not cleaning them and supporting that stupid law, we are totally on board with it. Will there be a grape eating contest? Good question. Not quite. More like a grape snorting contest. It's more of a competition of who can shove as many grapes up their nose as possible. Current record, 16. Where's my shirt? A good question. Great question. So, I will be dropping off shirts over the next couple days. You should get it in time. Yeah, and if you ask for it to be shipped, it's in the mail. So hopefully it arrives before the show. I shipped them out yesterday. Let's see. There are kosher pickles. Yeah, they're kosher pickles. Dill loved the kosher pickles. In fact, he was part rabbi. So, he pretty much every pickle he ate was kosher. So, let's see. What other questions do we have, guys? What other questions? Another email question. Why does R.I.P love books? Is his love for books a threat? It's a good question. Why is water wet? It just is. I can't explain why R.I.P likes to read. He just does. But I'll tell you this much. His love for reading I gotta respect it a little bit. He's very passionate about it. So I think, ultimately Rockin' Robbie, I still respect him as a promoter and an artist, but obviously he doesn't feel the same way towards our music festival. So what other questions do we have here, folks? Another email question. Is there any other acts or events on the boat for people who don't like music? Yeah, there is. We've got comedians this year. We've got tons of events. The Yuck Pool, the Solo Silent Disco, the world's largest water slide / slip and slide. So, I mean, really, there's a lot to do outside of music. There's also tons of different culinary delicacies you can eat on the ship, such as grape cheese or grilled grapes with Old Bay. They're all available. We're going to have everything here. Oh, it looks like somebody paid extra here. Oh, I paid extra for the D. Snyder VIP meet and greet package. Do you think he will let know what makeup products he uses? I think he said, do you think he will let me know what makeup products he uses? I think we're all dying to know. And honestly, if you paid that much of a premium, you deserve to find out. So, I mean, I hope you enjoy your time with Mr. Snyder. Oh, it looks like we've got some challengers for this year's grape snorting record. If you think you got what it takes, step up to the plank. Illegally, we cannot endorse people throwing books off the high dive. I'm sorry. It's just... Our lawyers will not allow that, so I'm going to say no, you cannot throw a book off the high dive. It's half a mile in the air, so. Will there be ghouls? That's a good question. I mean, I will say Children of Ether, while they're not ghouls, they have been described as kind of a demonic band. So I don't know if that's close enough to a ghoul for you. And I've listened to them practice their set. And I gotta say, it's pretty terrifying stuff. So they're pretty ghoulish, if I do say so myself. Ooh, a good question about a fan favorite. Is the Kook going to be participating in any of the events? Honestly, we felt terrible about how last year Peter Koukas was treated. If you don't recall, in last year's Great Mountain Festival, Peter Koukas, we tried multiple times, but ultimately interference on our signal just kept cutting him out. So this year we made sure that we got him as secure of a stream as possible. He's going to play a full set. We're expecting at least 15 to 20 minutes. That's at least 4 or 5 Kook songs. So hopefully you can get your fill. Is it true that mayors can't swim? I'm thinking about throwing one overboard. I don't know how good of a swimmer our mayor is, to be honest with you. And I heard that he's not even taking a boat to Punta Cana. He's actually planning on flying on Great Force One. So hopefully, he's plane doesn't start maybe, or maybe we wanted to. Because again, we're trying to confront this man about proposition number 3455, which is going back to vote in November. So maybe we do want him to get there safely. This way we can, finally get in his face and tell him what we think about that. So this question, is it true Al Roker is suing the boat? I have not heard any rumors of that, although I wouldn't put it past him. He is a good poker player and really bad at suing people. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't, but if he does, we've got the best lawyers. So let's see. What other questions do we have, guys? Another email question. Are you worried about Brian Braff Jr. and his promises of revenge? Yeah, I mean, a good question, and we have reason to be alarmed here. If you don't know, Brian Braff Jr. is the son of the mayor. He is currently a little bit misunderstood, I would say. He's had a couple weeks. But Brian Jr. is, definitely somebody that we're on alert for. And I will tell you right now, any member of the Braff family or their associates are not allowed on this boat. We are putting our foot down. We are saying absolutely not. You are not welcome here. Sorry. If you want to watch the stream, we can't stop you. But I will say we are a little concerned, and I think we have reason to be. He's been posting some serious dark stuff on Twitter. So let's see here. Any word on the Nightmares game following the death of their coach? Yeah, I do actually have an update for that. That's a great question. So the Great Mountain Nightmares, our local youth baseball team, I'm sorry, I got blocked there. Our local youth baseball team will be playing on the ship, and I got to say I'm pretty excited to see them go and do their thing. I think they're going to avenge their coach's death, so we're definitely pretty excited about that. So. And I got to say I'm pretty excited. All right. Any other questions, folks? Let's see here. Still fielding them, guys. On the ship, and I got to say I'm pretty excited. Sorry about these technical difficulties, folks. Okay, so if there's no other questions, I think excuse me. I'm sorry. Hello? Sorry about these technical difficulties, folks. Oh, yeah, no, this is John. Hello? Yeah, no, this is John. This is John Light. What? You're you're kidding me. He's he's dead? For real? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll call you back. Folks, I don't know how to tell you this. I've just received a phone call that Kevin Dillerson has passed away. We don't know much, but it's definitely mysterious circumstances. But it appears the grandson of Crunchy Dill and Crunchy Diane has passed away at 31 years old. We will try our best to push forward through this tragic event, but I don't know how we will. I thank you all for joining us, and I hope you can tune in live to our encore performance tomorrow of the 2020 Electric Great Mountain Festival, streaming live right here on Facebook at 7 p.m. Also, Sunday, the 2021 Electric Great Mountain Festival, also streaming live here on Facebook at 7 p.m. I thank you all for joining us tonight, and I'm sorry to end this on such a somber note. Good night.